dedicate this one to Punks for Progress. Punks for Progress. Fight for your liberty. We don't want your government. We don't need your services.
For Progress on YouTube and Facebook. Thanks, brother.
That sounds right up my alley.
That was a good day when you hear a punk say the word direction.
Hey, welcome to Sunday, what the fuck? I'm Reverend Aaron. I'm here with Punker Mike. Say hey, Punker Mike. Or don't. Maybe you can turn your mic on and that way people can hear you say hey, hey, Punker Mike.
Hey, Punker Mike.
Whoa, look how that works. And we are also here with SoCal Shannon.
Hello.
Hey to Bobby O in the chat.
Hey to Bobby O in the chat.
Hey, SoCal Shannon.
Hey to whoever else is in the chat. If you're a fascist, go fuck yourself. Take a nap on a train track.
No, welcome. No, welcome.
So I think we're just going to mostly chill this evening. I will say before we get into it, if the live stream cuts out, which it's been doing to us a lot, and until we get, we're going to have to make this disclaimer, but if the live stream does cut out, we'll start up another one. And until you've heard us say, okay, guys, thanks, have a good night, we'll keep coming back and figuring it out. Hopefully we'll get through a whole show, but we're going to talk about...
And if I don't answer your guys' questions, it's because my phone's going wah, 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 when you...
Excellent.
Mostly you are in.
That's great. Are you on speaker or something?
No, I took it off speakerphone and I moved up front and trying to, it's, I don't know. I don't know if it's just my signal or what.
It's net neutrality. They're fucking up our fucking Wi-Fi and our Bluetooth and all that shit, man.
Better.
Because, we're janky. We can't afford to pay for that shit, so.
Yeah,
our internet connection's shit.
And Mike's talking through his awesome podcast mic, which mine is just for looks.
Well, now I can hear you fine, Aaron.
Because I stuck food in my mouth.
God, Aaron, rule number one.
Is it a payday?
No, it's not.
I don't know how many times I've done it too, but I ate a whole pizza one time.
No, I usually munch on these when we do these shows. They're Wiley Wallaby licorice from the dollar store, and it's freaking amazing. I love it.
Is it just regular? Is it cherry?
It's no, it's gourmet red. It's like big chunks of. It's so good.
Yeah, bro, I got these little teeny black licorice pears from the drugstore the other day.
So I should let.
Yeah, but no,
I just real quick. I should let viewers know though we are going to be talking about. We premiered 2 new videos today, and I want to talk about that stuff. One was about Punk for Progress. Mike Gams was at the Boston Women's March confronting fascists there and was a part of a contingent that straight ran them the fuck off.
I'm Don Camden.
Yeah, let Punker Mike know what's going on.
Sorry.
Yeah, Mike's been... He hasn't... so check it out. One of the people that he confronted, bro, was John Camden, who was the dude who's so fucking tough because he loves Jesus. Remember him from Mystery Fascist Theater, Rhode Island? The American Guard guy. Yeah, he was in fucking Boston yesterday.
That's
little
why I
dude that
was
got up in that-
hoping one of you
No, he's
guys
kind of a
was
big
up, 'cause
dude.
I'm like, oh my god, you guys, it's the same.
You
it's
remember
the same
Mike? He's the
dude
guy
that
going
was-
off
but,
about fucking. He's reading scripture and he's spouting scripture.
Yeah.
They know I walked through the
Yeah.
valley of the shadow of death and all this shit. And
Yeah, the Barney Rebel looking dude.
The
That's
one
yeah,
where they
exactly
got
that dude.
paint
Yeah,
or
yeah,
what-
yeah.
Or fire hydrant retardant stuff or whatever.
Really?
Remember?
He confronted that dude?
That
oh,
same
and a bunch of
one.
other people. And the group that he was with completely ran him off. I'll play some clips and stuff as we get into it. So we got that. We got that.
Was Jesus there?
Of course Jesus was there because
Jesus had
John
that
Camden was there, and he's not going to be able to be tough as fuck if he ain't got Jesus on his side. So, but we'll get into it. We'll get into it, Mike. And then we also got we're going to talk about the Covington Catholic School attack on the Indigenous Peoples March, and specifically Nathan Phillips. And
That's vile. I don't know if I want to spend that much time on it. It's so disgusting.
well, but I mean, because of our followers, straight up, we got a massive information about Covington Catholic School and their history and stuff.
That was
did happen to see
organizing.
some
That
of
was networking. That was really cool. It was
It
a
was.
busy day yesterday. I was tired.
And I just want to give it up for any of our followers from the Facebook page. If you happen to be watching this and you see the video, so much of that was off of our post.
Yeah,
So much of the
Bobby
stuff
and
that-
Mike were pulling stuff from Twitter.
And the Punks for Progress True, I got stuff from Bobby and Shannon. It was just like, I didn't have to go do all the archiving. It was like, we posted the thing, Shan did, and then boom, just people were like doing the research, doing the homework, got the phone
Well,
line
I
shut
woke
down
up
at the school.
3:30 and my friend had shared that.
So we're going to talk about that. And
3:30 in the
then
morning.
we also, we gotta fucking talk about what went down at the Reagan Youth show.
Oh, I heard Reagan Youth had a show.
That's
Yes,
all, you just
and
heard they had a
I
show.
knew that
Oh
it
God,
was out
Mike.
That's,
Go ahead, Shan.
sorry, it broke out. I don't know what you just said.
Dude, there were Fash at a fucking Reagan Youth show. How fucking stupid of a moron you have to be to be a fascist and go to a Reagan Youth show.
One of our
They get worked
one.
by the crowd, dude.
God.
It's just,
Now you're
glorious.
doing it to me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I was just trying to finish my point.
Okay, see, that's what's messed up is because you keep breaking up and there's big chunks for it, and I think you're done, and I don't know what I was saying.
Well,
Oh, that was shared to us in private messenger on Facebook.
yeah, one of
That
our
happened.
followers who
He told me to go to Twitter, and I mean Instagram. I don't tweet. What am I thinking?
But one of our followers
And I
just,
found it on Instagram, and then I went to their page, and they had posted that other video. Yeah, one of our followers.
yeah, they just came across it and said, hey, I think you guys would find this interesting. We're like, holy shit, we find
Yeah,
this interesting.
you should check out. She gave me the Instagram person that shared it.
Right.
I checked it out, and there
And
it
it's
was.
amazing, Mike. Just, I've just, talk about, the Fash always like to talk about fuck around and find out.
Are we still talking about the Reagan Youth show?
Yeah, all this is this.
Yeah.
She was just telling you how we came across the link to the video to see what happened at this show. It was one of our followers sent us a private message and said, "Hey, you should check this out."
Actually, what they said,
What, Mike? What, Mike? What, Mike?
I'm sorry. Where was the show at?
Garden Grove
Garden Grove.
California. Okay.
County.
You know, it's funny because I've been listening to 91X all day
We
from San
packed our
Diego,
car for.
and I heard them talking about
It
it.
smelled like.
About a Reagan Youth show. They were announcing a Reagan Youth show, but and I had seen something in my Instagram feed about a Reagan Youth show, but I didn't realize that's actually what went down. But it'd be Garden Grove of all places.
Well, they're touring. They're on a tour, I think. So I mean, it's just
Yeah, they're touring. They're back home. I think. I think it's the end. Well, maybe it's the beginning. I can't remember.
not that
Time
91X.
flies, man.
wasn't plugging that show, Mike, but they are doing a whole series of shows.
I have a feeling. No, I'm sure they weren't, bro. I'm sure they were probably plugging one closer down to San Diego. I'm just saying. So I heard that, so I knew Reagan Youth was basically in California. That's why I was asking.
So why don't we just go here? You know what?
Anyway.
Okay. Why don't we just
Oh wait.
What did they think, Reagan Youth? They thought they were actually like freaking.
Okay, check it out. Check it out. Check it out. No, stop. No. Listen, fam. I fucking love you, but rules. Okay, one person at a time. I understand Shan has an issue because things are cutting out, and she might think people are done talking. But we can't all three be talking at once. You got to get people, and we're all long-winded. We're all long-winded fucking people. That's why we do a podcast, because we think we have a lot to say. But everyone will get time to say it, and you can always say, hey, but can I say something? And we will stop and hear you out. But we got to be careful. We're talking to each other way too much.
Can I just finish what the person who shared that video said?
Please.
What she said was, I thought you might like some good news for a change, since yesterday was such a bummer because of what we were talking about before.
With Nathan
Phillips.
Phillips.
That really was a bummer for, everyone.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Anyway, that's it. So that was nice.
Let's see. I'm answering a message to, Mike Gams. But I do want to play the video. So, with no further poo-poo. Well, there's two of them. I'm going to play the one that's not quite as good first. Going to save the nectar shit for last. This looks like some way old day shit. Like I have not seen activity like this at, a punk rock show since fucking the late 80s, maybe a little bit in the early 90s. So this is the first clip. It's mostly the pit. Check it. That's that one. Now, this is the one this is fucking gnarly. So just be prepared. This is very graphic. Play it one more time on a slightly bigger screen here without this crap down here. Just like fuck around and find out. Be a fucking Nazi fuckbag fascist and go to a punk rock show, especially Reagan Youth.
Hey!
just fucking wake up, people. Wake up. What the fuck are you doing? You know? Where they go, everything they fucking touch. What's that, Mike?
Feeling emboldened.
God.
Like, I mean, come on. They're the new punk rockers.
I could make out.
I honestly,
Yeah, right.
I honestly have a feeling, dude, they were so stupid because Reagan Youth is old. They're an older punk rock band. These kids had no fucking clue that they had thought it was probably like a GOP punk rock because, you know, fucking Trump supporters are the new punk rockers, right? So, and we've talked about this.
I don't know, man.
I mean,
well, Mike, listen.
They possibly actually believe that
I don't
Reagan
know
Youth was
that
like,
they
you know.
were that young.
No, that's my point. Yeah, those guys look like they were at least in their 30s, if not a little old. That was an older. They look like they were fucking old Nazi boneheads, dude. Old Nazi boneheads who thought they could come out again.
Yeah.
It was time, and fucking punk rock said, nah, fuck you. You know?
You mean the majority?
Yeah. And that was my point, though. Is it's just everywhere they go, everything they touch, this is what they bring. They bring this fucking. It's a disruption. It's fucking violence. It's.
You know they did something or said something,
Oh, of course.
and they weren't having it, and that's what happens. When fucking out. That's what that means right there. That's exactly what happened. And then all the fucking rage from people that get it from them, you know, it comes out on them. That's why you don't fuck around.
Go ahead, Mike.
I said it seems like they do this shit on purpose. What do you think? Do you think? I mean, you're like, hey, we're gonna go fucking cause problems at a Reagan Youth show.
Yeah,
You know what? We're gonna go fucking cause problems at an indigenous rally.
Right.
You know what? We're just gonna go and just be disruptful. I mean, is that the whole thing? I mean,
I think it has a lot.
Is that what it's about?
I think.
Now you know why they like Trump.
I think a lot of it has to do with they feel like one, they're force-fed information constantly that they're the majority, and that it's our time, and they just that's what it's. You know, they walk around and they flaunt it like we're in charge now. We're running this shit. Your days are numbered. Your days are done. They all think this. I mean, that's what the trolls are telling us all the time. We're fucking. It's our time. You're the history. You're the past, and it's like so delusional because we outnumber them by the millions. But yeah, there's this sort of arrogant disconnect that like, yeah, we're here now. It's our fucking shit. And people are, you know, look, man, punk rock show, especially Reagan Youth, was such a long history of anti-fascism, blatant, overt anti-fascism, is not a pink hat women's march, man. You know, you're not getting, the cops aren't going to line up with their bikes and fucking protect you. You can't walk into, you know, that's real. That's just the fucking real world. I'm not trying to glorify. I mean, yes, I would love to glorify punk rock all I can, but that's not the point. It's just like, this isn't a fucking YouTube video. This is the fucking street, man, with a bunch of fucking lifelong punk rockers who have already fucking been down this road and don't want any of it, just tired of it. And like, finally Reagan Youth is back together, and that's another thing too. Like, this isn't like. A lot of people are celebrating that Reagan Youth is really fucking going, and it's kind of their time because the anti-fascist movement is really strong, and they fucking really dig Reagan Youth, and it's like, this is kind of their moment. You're gonna show up and do this shit? Fuck, man. And it just sucks. I mean, I don't want to live in a world where we have to fucking brutally beat on fucking people, you know, but thanks for making that the world we live in, you fascist fucks.
No, but we have no idea what they did. And they did something because you know they know. All you have to do is look at a Reagan Youth flyer, and it tells you what they're about.
Yep.
So why are they there? They're not stupid. Well, I mean, they're stupid, but you know what I mean. They know what symbols mean. They're smart enough to figure some of those out.
But, you know what? You know what? I think we should listen to some Reagan Youth. Don't you think?
I do.
Yes.
I mean, like, there's so much good Reagan Youth.
You should have heard how that just sounded. I'm sorry.
I know, right?
It sounded like one of those freaking microphones. Oh my god, it was funny. Sorry. And it did it on the word youth.
Check out.
A bit of a delay.
Yeah, there's always a delay. There's always going to be a delay, bro. It's like 5 seconds. I was watching it. It's kind of the average, same that it always is. It's from my view.
No, it's with. I don't know. I'll tell you about it later.
Okay, well, I'm just going to play this here audio. Reagan Youth. This is Youth Anthems for a New Order.
1, 2, 3.
talking about. I understand what you mean, Mike. Took me a minute. Took me about 3-4 Reagan Youth songs to figure out what the fuck you were talking about, but I figured it out. So did you...
I think it's better now.
Well, I mean, anyway.
Anyways, it's all good.
No, it's not. Everything is a disaster.
Oh yeah, no, I'm much better now. I'm much closer. I think it might have just been on my end, bro.
Figures. Uh-oh. Okay. I hate when I see that little... So, before we get into the other two stories, I mean, those were the things that I wanted to talk about, Mike, was, you know, Reagan Youth and the two videos we premiered, but was there anything going on that you were fucking hot to talk about or anything, or... We just didn't really do, we didn't do any type of pre-production talk before we started tonight, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, what's going on? I mean, the government's still fucking shut down.
Yeah.
You know, I have a feeling that they're going to say, see, we don't need it. I mean, that's what they're pushing on Fox News right now, according to what I've seen, is that they're like, most people don't even know that the government shut down. Yeah, talk to 800,000 people that are out of a job right now. And they're going to get paid later on. When? What if the fucking GOP says, see, I told you we don't need government, downsize government. So, I mean, I don't know. Is this their coup? They're trying to take over Venezuela. Now they're trying to take over us too. I mean,
yeah, there's been Pence said some shit, and Pompeo and fucking Bolton all fucking pushing shit about Venezuela this week. All three of them.
Yeah. They want Venezuela. They want the oil. They want the natural gas. There's a lot of natural gas coming out of Venezuela. We talked about this, I want to say on one of our shows, bro, a number of years ago about the shit coming out of Venezuela. Like, you know, that these big oil companies they want this. I mean, they have an elected president who runs the shit out of that country, and fucking Americans don't like it.
Right, I heard
it. Fucking kill him and all this, man. And there's evidence that, you know, our government was behind it, funding it. Anything that happens over there, our government is like funding and doing.
This dude was on Democracy Now! Was talking about how he's like, you know, talking about, you know, you're gonna Bolton and Pence and whatever are you know, part of their shtick is that they're, you know, going to bring democracy to Venezuela. And he was like, just rattling off the procession of all the years where they've had their democratic elections. There's like no democracy to be brought to them. They're like, we have all these, you know, democratic co-op workplaces. There's like, we're abundant with democracy. We don't need you to come and spread democracy to us, which is just bullshit. They want to undo democracy. These are fascists. They fucking hate democracy. Go ahead.
Bro, they've had 20 elections in the last 25 years.
Right.
There was a dude on Democracy Now! That was talking about it. They have a democracy. It's socialist, though. They get, I think part of the deal, and this is one of the things I think that pisses off the fucking oligarchs, is that I think that he kicks down to people. Like the money they make on the oil, that the state makes on the oil, that they kick down to the people.
Well, and that's what Chavez tried to do, was nationalize the oil. And like, I mean, there was all kinds of issues and problems, but like, especially due in vast large part to the Western fucking multinational imperialist influence there. It's just impossible to run a functioning state, whether you're socialist, capitalist or not, unless you're just total fucking giving in to those multinationalist interests, right? But that's what like Chavez tried to do, and then now it's Maduro. You know, and there was a coup on Chavez, and then he was democratically elected back into office, and then, you know, now we got Maduro in there, and they want to do the same thing. We got our fucking...
This is what we do, bro. This is what our government does.
Ain't my fucking government.
This is what our government has a record of doing this shit. Of going into democratically elected countries, you know, where there's a democratic state, they elect a president, and we fucking fund a coup and run them out.
Because
so that we can rape their fucking natural resources. Our fucking, you know, capitalist oligarch corporations rape their fucking natural resources in the name of profit. Now, let me see. Let's go back to Iran. That's how far. It goes even farther back than that. But I mean, that's the whole fucking problem with what's going on in South America, in Central America. That's why, I mean, our fucking government went in there and fucked up their governments, and now these people are, you know, can't live because there's gangs taking over, because, you know, chaos.
On the brink of failed state in every nation, you know. Yeah.
You know, and now they're caravanning to try to get someplace where they can fucking actually maybe make a living and, you know, become a functioning a member of society, a contributing member of society. That's all these people want. And it's our government that's fucked it up, and so many people don't get it. But yeah, so I mean, like with this whole Venezuela thing, I mean, I don't trust our government. That you know, I would believe that they're absolutely trying to run this dude out. And I know it has to do with oil and natural gas. So I mean, that's anyway.
Well, look, why don't we play?
To happen is
This is democracy.
Well, this is definitely not going to play this whole thing. We'll play a little bit of it. I might as well. This is actually, it's a 30-minute video total from Democracy Now! On their coverage of what's going on in Venezuela. Let's play just a little bit of the beginning, and then we can move on to the next topic.
Pretty cool, right on.
Yeah.
This is Democracy Now! I'm Amy Goodman. The United States and allied nations in Latin America are ratcheting up pressure on Venezuela in what appears to be a coordinated effort to remove Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro from office. Maduro was sworn in last week to a second six-year term following his victory in last May's election, which was boycotted by the opposition. Days before Maduro was sworn in, opposition figure Juan Guaido became head of the National Assembly, which soon voted to declare Maduro a usurper in an effort to remove him from office. The United States, Brazil, and other nations have welcomed the effort. Vice President Mike Pence tweeted, "The U.S. strongly supports the courageous decision by Juan Guaido to declare the country's presidency vacant." On the day of Maduro's inauguration, January 10th, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo called Guaido to congratulate him on his election victory to head the National Assembly. Then National Security Advisor John Bolton announced, quote, "The United States does not recognize Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro's illegitimate claim to power."
I do.
Unquote. Brazil, now led by the far-right president Jair Bolsonaro, has gone a step further by saying it recognizes Juan Guaido as the rightful president of Venezuela, even though Guaido himself hasn't even claimed that title. A group of Latin American countries known as the Lima Group also recently voted to not recognize the legitimacy of Maduro's presidency. Mexico was the sole dissenter. The U.S.-led effort targeting the oil-rich nation of Venezuela dates back 2 decades since the late Hugo Chavez became president in 1999. In November, John Bolton accused Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua of being part of a troika of tyranny. In September, the New York Times reported the Trump administration conducted secret meetings with rebellious military officers in Venezuela to discuss overthrowing Maduro. In August, Maduro survived an assassination attempt when he was attacked by a small drone. He accused the U.S. and Colombia of being involved in the plot. In 2017, President Donald Trump said he could not rule out a, quote, military option to deal with Venezuela. All of this comes as Venezuela is facing a staggering economic crisis caused in part by falling oil prices and broad U.S. sanctions. According to the IMF, inflation is over 1,000,000% in the last year, the highest rate in the world. There are widespread reports of food and medicine shortages. The United Nations estimates 3 million Venezuelans have left Venezuela since 2015, resulting in what the UN described as an unprecedented migration crisis in Latin America. As the political turmoil intensifies, Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has reached out to the United Nations to help establish a peace dialogue in Venezuela. Venezuela's Foreign Minister Jorge Ariaza met this week with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres here in New York. On Thursday, I had a chance to interview Foreign Minister Ariaza, who has served as foreign minister for the past 3 years. From 2013 to 16, he served as Venezuela's vice president. I began by asking him if he believes Venezuela is being set up for a coup.
Of course, it's evident. And you see, this man who nobody knows in Venezuela, you ask in the streets who is Juan Guaido and nobody knows him, but he's been to say that he is the new president by the U.S. He hasn't said that, but Pompeo says it, Almagro from the OAS says it, and other presidents say that now he's the president. Aman, they are trying to push a political conflict in Venezuela. They are calling the armed forces to make pronunciations against President Maduro. That's what they want, a coup d'etat in Venezuela. They want a war in Venezuela, and it's not going to happen.
So let's talk more about what you believe is the role of the United States in coalescing opposition to Maduro.
They are the bosses of the opposition.
Exactly. The bosses of the opposition. Yeah, she could have broke it down. She went through it pretty quick, bro. But she broke it down, how it is. I mean,
Well,
what's going on?
I like what he said about how you say this other dude's name. Nobody in Venezuela's ever heard of the guy. That Bolsonaro has apparently, decided is the president of Venezuela. Bolsonaro, the fascist leader of fucking Brazil.
Brazil, exactly.
And I think they actually go on to talk a little bit about it in that interview, but it's similar to what's his fuck that they were trying to put in place during Iraq. Remember, they pulled the guy out from Iraq and they said, okay, this guy's going to be the leader. Who was he, man? God damn it, his name's on the tip of my tongue. But it was just this guy that, when we first went in and did the Desert Storm or the, shock and awe and all that shit, and we were ready to install this fucking guy that was the darling of the, elite, international establishment or whatever.
Yeah.
God, do you remember his name, Shannon?
I don't remember names.
But, anyway.
I don't remember.
But it's a
names of anyone.
Sure, no, it's a very similar scenario though. Is that at that time when we went into Iraq, it was, hey, we got this guy and he's great and all the people of Iraq will love him. And he's the perfect dude and whatever. And people in Iraq are like, who the fuck is he? And the people who did know him were like, fuck that dude. And that's exactly what's happening now with, I can't remember the guy's.
And then the police started getting murdered in the military.
Right. So, you know.
Yeah, that does sound familiar. What I wanted to bring up, though, too, was one of the things that they mentioned was how inflation is up because of our sanctions, and people are leaving Venezuela because they can't afford to live there anymore. Right. Look what our fucking policy is already doing to this country. They can't get medicine.
Like
no
hundreds of thousands.
No one can afford to live anywhere in this world anymore.
Kill the poor.
Kill the poor. Kill the poor. So why don't we play Kill the Poor?
Works, just not for us.
Why don't we play Kill the Poor, and then we can come back and talk about the fascist rally in Boston. Well, it's not a fascist rally. I get so used to saying that, thankfully. But it was a women's march in Boston. And about 12 fascists gathered together from all over the country, like New Hampshire, Rhode Island, places, to, I don't know, do fascist stuff against the women's march.
Counter protest against the women's march?
I guess we can call it that. They just wanted to fascist stuff. They wanted to get all fascist stuff.
They're the anti-Marxist.
There's that one over like a fart.
What the fuck that group's called?
I mean, like, look, we do, Mike, when there's a Fash rally, is we counter demonstrate. Okay, they don't do that. They don't counter demonstrate. I don't even know if they could put all those syllables together at once. You know what I mean? Like. They
just come and cause trouble like they did at Reagan Youth.
Look at me! I wish I had a life and existence and a reason to fucking be.
Jesus on his side.
Yeah, I don't have any reason to feel good about myself, but I'm gonna beat you up because Jesus and like me and look at me, look at me. It's that. It's called that.
Fuck you, pink pussy people.
Huh?
You know, because liberals and leftists get triggered so easily.
The leftists do.
Leftists and liberals get triggered so easily, so they can get triggered, you know,
so easily. Like, yeah, and it manifests in running them the fuck out. That's how we get triggered. We run them the fuck off of our shit. Yeah, and then they go, "What are you triggered?" It's like, it's such a disconnected projection. Because no, I know you're being sarcastic, bro, but. No, I mean, look.
Because some people act like that Reagan Youth show when they get triggered.
Yeah.
And some people just chase you the fuck out.
Right. Yeah, and some people have meltdowns. And that's a very real thing because, you know, you don't know what type of trauma that person has been, you know, subjected to in their life.
Exactly.
And what you're forcing them to relive, like this ugly experience in their life, because your fucking behavior is reminiscent of things that cause them immense trauma in their past. Like, wake the fuck up. You're causing trauma to people. You're not being patriots. You're not fucking... Okay. I wanted to play Kill the Poor. Did you have something to say, Mike?
I don't... I mean, it's so fucking sad that these people have nothing else to do than to go and cause fucking problems. They have no other thing to do except go fucking cause problems at a women's march, at a punk rock show. Get a fucking life.
Yeah, remember? Pete X had people show up, and those two fools showed up in LA. So I guess the women's march was the target now. It's just they ain't got that much people. That many people. Sorry, that wasn't very proper English.
No, they most assuredly don't. And each time it's just less and less. And like I said, it's like, take that into consideration, that there was like 12 of them, but it was from multiple states.
Right. Because it ain't working.
How pathetic, man.
Well, and there were like 3 that we could make out in that video at that show in Garden Grove.
What a stupid idea. He counter-demonstrated at the Women's March. Seriously? I think there was probably quite a few of them that said, no, that's stupid, we're not going. And you got 12 idiots that said, oh yeah, I'll go.
They think all women are Marxists. I mean, the majority of women, I should say.
Say that again,
Because
Shannon.
the
I'm sorry.
majority of women go to. Well, because what I can't remember their like banner, like their event, what they call it. It's something against Marxism or something. Because that's what they called it last time. I can't remember what state it was in.
Oh, that's well, all the things that
you guys did the mystery.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and a bunch of the stuff that was in Berkeley was the Say No to Marxism or No Marxism in the Bay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. The majority of women do not go to the March for Life rally. They go to the Women's March.
Oh, of course. Okay, we're going to really get into it. Well,
they're saying that the majority of women are Marxists or something. It makes no fucking sense.
Of course it doesn't. And we'll really get into it, but let's play this here. This goes out to U.S. imperialist attempts at a coup in Venezuela. This is Dead Kennedys Kill the Poor. Now, I haven't seen this video, but the thumbnail had a picture from Clockwork Orange. So we'll check it out. Hopefully it doesn't have disgustingness, the wrong kind of disgusting. Hopefully it has good disgusting.
If distance in progress is ours once more, now that we have the neutron bomb, it's nice and quick and clean and there it's done. Away with the sensibility, but no less valued a property. The sunset warm and perfect size at home. The sun beats down on a brand new day. No more world where tax to pay. The sun beats and I'm on a big catching light. The cloudless millions whisked away. The master has more room to play. Our systems go and kill the poor tonight. Kill the poor. Kill the poor. Kill the poor tonight. The sparkle lights the pain. You find the sun to free again. A life's a breeze and demons in right. Jane Fonda on the screen today. The next are liberals, it's okay. So let's get tested and so in night. Alright, kill the poor. Kill the poor. Kill the poor tonight. Kill the poor.
White man's burden, Lord. Perhaps I need a good talking to. Perhaps I break them all.
What the fuck is that?
Here's Johnny.
I also didn't like that they had the fucking people marching with hammer and sickles at the beginning. That video was caca. But we can't just not finish that song, right? I mean, like.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was kind of rocking out over here.
I was too, but you know what? It just got me thinking. I don't see any reason why we can't play Chicken Shit Conformist like your parents. Do you see any reason why we can't play that?
No. Didn't I call Shannon a chicken shit conformist already tonight?
What did you say? Cut out.
Good.
This isn't funny. I feel like you're fucking my big brothers or something. What did you say? Damn it.
It was some Big Brother shit that you wouldn't like, except I'm more like your little brother.
Am I gonna punch him in the shoulder when I see him for saying it?
Probably in the neck, but...
I can't. My wrist is fucking shot. I can't.
And I wanted to point out, Bobby said Marxism. I think that might be the word you were looking for, Shan.
Yeah, I think that is what it is.
Okay. Well, this is Chicken Shit Conformist with lyrics.
deserves to die when it becomes another stale cartoon. A closed-minded, self-centered social club. Ideas don't matter, it's who you know. If the music's gotten boring, it's because of the people who want everyone to sound the same. Who drive the bright people out of our so-called scene, till all that's left is just a meaningless fad. What's ripped us apart even more than drugs are the thieves and the goddamn liars, ripping people off when they share their stuff, when someone falls on their any friends. Honor corps been vowed for a year or two, and it's time to get a real job. Understanding home is no fun to go out when the gigs are wrecked by gangs and thugs. When the non-sport bands, who gets record deals, the New York labels looking to scam. Who signed the most racist, queer-bashing bands they can find to make a buck living things up for war.
It's true. Okay. Thank you for indulging
Welcome.
my need for dead Kennedys. Especially that song. One of the best, I think.
That's one of my favorite songs. Well, I like Kill the Poor.
Well, I tried to play some Kill the Poor,
I know.
but I made a bad choice on video.
I like Moon Over.
You like what?
And Let Lynch. Moon Over Marin.
Oh, I love Moon Over Marin. There will always be a Moon Over Marin.
I like Holiday in Cambodia a lot too, though. I really like the guitar.
It's because you're a Starbelly Sneech.
You sucking like a leech and you want everyone to act like you?
No. I wasn't even born yet.
No.
I wasn't born.
You had to think about it for a second. Wait, am I a Starbelly Sea sucking like a leech and I want everyone to act?
Stop blaming me for Cambodia, god damn it. My mom voted for Nixon. Well, Nixon didn't start the fucking war. She probably wasn't. When did... I guess she might have been old enough to vote for James. I'm not sure. Yeah, that was 64. She was old enough. Right? That was 64.
My parents were Democrats, but they voted for Nixon.
They voted for who?
JFK.
Nixon. And they voted
Nixon.
for Reagan.
Ah. Excellent Democrats.
My mom voted for JFK and then Nixon.
Really committed to the party.
Well, you know what? A lot of people did vote for him because of what happened. Because of what he was Tricky Dick, remember? Where do you think he got the name from? It was way more trickier than
You know,
Trump.
he was violent. He was so violent and corrupt, and now look what we have.
And I just watched something the other day, and I'm gonna queue up this video about it's from our video Pig Protected Fash Get Ran Off the Boston Women's March. I'll play a couple clips from it, but I was watching a video recently where when the way he originally did get the name Tricky Dick was during his like governor's race, and he like I can't.
Did you
I
say
wish I could.
governor?
Yeah, and I wish I could remember, or some kind of state race of some kind, and he did some shady ass shit too. It was way shady, and I wish I could remember what it was, but
he was always shady.
And the person he really fucked over was who just totally got screwed, was who called him that, and it stuck. But anyway, this is from Pig Protected Fash Get Ran Off the Boston Women's March. I'm going to play just kind of the opening sequence, and we can come back and talk a little bit. And then there's one more clip from the end of the video that I'd like to play also. But check this out, and we'll chat in a sec.
Who do you serve? Who do you protect? Who do you serve? Who do you protect? Get back! Get back! Who do you protect? Who do you
Why are you hitting women? The pigs! Fascist pigs! Brutalizing women at the Women's March! That is shameful and cowardly! You're fucking hurting women, you piece of shit!
Okay, so we're here in Boston, and a group of neo-Nazis have decided to try a group of neo-Nazis have tried to interrupt the Women's March. I had a live stream on Twitter earlier and then on Punks for Progress, so I'm going to keep doing this. I keep getting disconnected, but the cops just got here and sort of separated the two sides. But for the first about 30 minutes, the Nazis were out here just shoving people around, and I'll post links to that video. I have one of them on Twitter and then one on Punks for Progress, but and it's cold.
See that? Totally just fucking pushed some old dude down the ground. Straight up assault. So this motherfucker traveled from New Hampshire. John Cameron traveled from New Hampshire to assault that dude. That's why he's got his helmet on. That's what he's there to do. Which is exactly what the members of the Rise Above movement are sitting in fucking prison for right now. Because they traveled to different states to commit fucking fascist violence.
Nazis, out, out, out.
So, the way Mike Gams explains it, and like I said, I'll play a little more from his footage from that, is that prior to the police going in full force and in full protect mode of these handful of fucking this traveling fascist shit show, they were met with instant opposition. That people yelling at them, "Fuck you," you know, "No Nazis," whatever, and they assaulted people and instantly initiated violence against people until the cops came and did the initiating of violence for them, hitting women with their bicycles at the fucking Women's March in defense of these 12 people who showed up for the sole purpose of disrupting this fucking march. But if 500 fucking hold on one second. If 500 fucking counter demonstrators show up to counter demonstrate against 15 fascists, the cops opened fire on us. You know, and shoot projectiles and rubber bullets at us and shit. Flashbangs. But these 12 people show up to disrupt hundreds and hundreds of people, and fucking the cops assault women in defense of them. It's disgusting. Go ahead, Shan.
The one you guys did, was that Rhode Island?
The Mystery Fact, yeah, that has Camden in it.
I think that's the first fascist theater. I'm sorry, I always say that. I think that's the first one you guys did.
No, it was like the
Anyway,
third one we did.
The
But
one
yeah.
cop had a blue flag or whatever thing on his thing, and then, you know, Tiny hit a woman right in front of the cop, and they protected them, put them behind him.
Yep.
And face off to what I say us. Because it is us.
It is us.
I don't know why people don't see that.
So
Every time it happens that way.
I want to cue this up. So I'm gonna let. So this is part of the video. Is me. Mike Gams was in the sort of punker Mike seat, giving me the rundown on it. I really highly suggest people watch this video. The full video. It's really, really amazing footage. He just caught every like pivotal moment of the day. He was just up in it, in the cop's face, in the Fash face, in the press's face. It's just so good.
I watched it twice in a row.
So let's see. I think this might be a good place to start from. Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty good. I mean, as they're sitting there behind cop bikes, trying to talk shit about the total disconnect from reality.
I gotta find his name. The short one there, Chris, the one who was saying, "You're interviewing me right now," and I just kept saying, "I'm not interviewing you. I'm yelling at you." like, don't confuse this relationship. It's like when someone introduces you, like, "Oh, this is my boyfriend." Like, I'm like, "Boyfriend? Whoa." You know, he's like, I'm like, "Interview? No, I'm yelling at you." But he turns out he's one of the gays for Trump. He's a Milo type. Wow. Yeah, because he tweeted at me, you know, this afternoon, you know, something about him being a twink. I don't know, I'm not quite sure what to make of it, but yeah, I got Fash in the mention, you know, that's what happens.
Like reaching out to you, like maybe we could be friends because of this, or
no,
just giving you shit.
He was just coming to talk. He was just coming to like talk shit. There's a couple, you know, as they do on Twitter. You know?
Sure.
It's not the first time. You know, I can't even remember this guy's name, but because I know it's just Chris something. But I've had like other people, like one week shut down. I helped. What's what I'm looking for? I helped disrupt a KKK rally in Madison, Indiana over the summer, and then I had a guy who claims to be an imperial wizard showing up in my Twitter mentions. It's like, okay.
Well, I'm gonna play this last video. This last video is great. It's just you really letting the cops know what disgusting fucking pieces of shit they are, as they're just blatantly defending a handful of ignorant fascists, most of which aren't even from Boston, that came there, traveled there from New Hampshire and Rhode Island and other places to disrupt a women's march. You know, what's the point, man? What are you trying to say? That, like, no, you know, women are garbage and we should be able to rape them anytime we want and beat them? And I mean, what is the fucking, you know? I mean, do they think Soros is really, you know, terrified and hurt now because they went and accosted a, like,
You know why they're there? You know why they're there? Because this is all they have.
Yeah.
Is this pathetic existence.
That's right.
It's all they got.
It's the only thing they're clinging to. It's the only thing that gives their life any type of semblance of meaning. And each time there's fewer and fewer of them there. And I just want to suggest to the ones that are still there.
Why are you protecting them?
Why are you saving them? They're fucking traitors!
Who do you protect? Who do you serve? Who do you protect? Who do you serve? Who do you protect?
Step back! Step back!
Who do you protect? Who do you Why are you hitting women? You pigs! Fascist pigs! Brutalizing women at the Women's March! That is shameful and cowardly! You're fucking hurting women, you piece of shit! Let's get home. Come on. Why are you doing this to us? This is who do you protect, you
That's embarrassing! You just chased him down and you couldn't even catch him! How sad for you! How sad for you! You couldn't even catch him! Idiots! Hold on, boys and girls! Yo! Line formation! Make a goddamn line! Fuck you, pig! Pig, a line!
Form up!
Okay, it's okay. Just show it. Look at all these fucking cops to protect a dozen fucking Nazis. That's not
what democracy looks like!
Yeah. This is not what democracy looks like. This is what fascism looks like. Just saying.
They're coming from behind now. It's the end. This is the end of the Women's March. A group of Nazis came the entire time to try to disrupt the Women's March, chanting all kinds of hate speech, and now they're being escorted through Boston by Boston's finest. Dozens and dozens of cops shoving women, shoving people, all to protect the racist Nazis that decided to try to interrupt the Women's March. And there's cops coming behind us and in front of us, and we are about to get kettled, very likely, here in the street. But I will show you what we're looking at. You can see back there, there's some Nazis right there. They're still, all still here, looking for a fight. Someone came from Providence to cause shit. But you can see the city of Boston is not standing for this shit. You can see all the way in the back there, there's some cops talking with the Nazis back there. Right there.
With their friends.
We're about to see.
Talking about where they're going to have drinks later. I don't know.
We're all still gathered up there, protected by every cop in the city is here to protect the Nazis back there. All right, guys, we're in this. Either one is dead.
Guys, we're in this! As they're being completely fucking run out of town. Jesus Christ.
The boys in blue don't miss out on our dedications. ACAB. Oh, coppers are bastards.
Why not play a little Foreskins too, you know? I mean, fuck it.
Yeah, the music was good in that video.
The music was good?
Yeah. Well, there was other good stuff. I'm just saying the music was awesome good. So yeah. Get the punker Mike seal of approval.
Excellent. But yeah, I mean, Mike just fucking, man, he's fierce as fuck. Dude's fire, man. He's
Right on,
anti-fascist fucking Spider-Man, man. You know?
That's very cool.
I like the Dropkick Murphy video.
Well, yeah, and
that his friend did.
Totally, that's so cool too because the person who made that is like I only discovered their existence at when they made that video, but they did it like within an hour of when he had live streamed it. They like boom, popped the Dropkick Murphys thing in there, and that's like that person's like a Hollywood producer, a video editor, like worked on all kinds of fucking big stuff and whatever. I can't remember, but they listed like
that's cool.
Yeah. And instantly saw that and was like, I think that this needs a little Boston fucking punk rock in it. That was good. But you know, wow, man. I don't know. You know what? Let's and do you guys have either of you have any more thoughts on that? I mean, I think we kind of covered it, but definitely if you guys have anything you want to say about it.
Yeah, it's pathetic. It's gotten to where it's pathetic for them. That doesn't mean they're still not dangerous. They're trying to recruit.
Yeah,
They're doing their shenanigans.
They're still, I mean, they still have that super strong presence online. You know, a lot of this grew out of the Gamergate and out of like the 4chan, like post sort of anonymous, the soup in there. And then when Trump got elected, they all kind of like got all empowered and came out in the street. And it's just dwindling and dwindling. It doesn't mean that the fascists have lost power like internationally, in real terms of power.
Right.
That's shit, right?
And it also doesn't mean that the fascists in Europe aren't gaining power, like the street level fascists and stuff. You know, they still...
No, they're working together like we're working together.
Right. They are. And they got Steve Bannon running around making connections between
but they're running
top
fucking
and bottom.
countries right now.
Yeah,
Some of them.
Bolsonaro, I can never say that fucker's name. Viktor Orban.
Exactly.
You got fucking
Duarte.
yeah, Duterte.
I don't say his name right either because I want to say Duarte.
Yeah, Duterte, right?
Like Spain.
Duterte.
And
Dictator though.
just and these top level fascists are working together. And again, like I said, that Steve Bannon is still one of these people who's just being freed from the Trump administration really was the best thing that ever happened for him in terms of his goals, because now he can just gallivant all over the world and hang out with Bolsonaro's son and meet with fucking members of fucking...
And help out all the Fash.
Yep. You know, he did his part.
Not just about Russia.
Like what he was doing for American fascists like Milo and all that shit, he's over in Europe concentrating on shit. I did hear that, speaking of Europe, fascist fucking assholes, that Tommy Robinson was just something happened. God damn it, what was it? He got pulled off of something. He got deplatformed from somewhere. Not completely, but yeah. But
Good.
I don't know.
I wish I could remember exactly this, but yeah, of course, if you want to know more about it, Kevin Logan streams about it. He's always on the on the latest when it comes to Tommy Robinson, and that's where I saw it. I just can't remember exactly what it said right now, but I do want to get into and I know, Shan, you definitely will have much to say on this net, but what went down at the Indigenous Peoples March. And so before we get into talking about it, it's the Indigenous Peoples March in D.C. We just premiered a video today that I put together. Like I said earlier in the stream, this is based on a lot of stuff that Shan got, Bobby O got, all the Punks for Progress crew, like just footage and homework, but plus a shit ton of stuff that came to us from our followers. And then there's other stuff that was gathered from just various different indigenous rights groups and stuff. And so I'm not going to play the whole video. I'm just going to play the opening sequence. But I really, really suggest you watch the whole thing. There's a march with some video provided by Refuse Fascism at the end, like that you're not going to see right now, but it's towards the end. And after all the stuff happened.
You put a good job. You did a good job of putting together because it unfolded, and it really wasn't until the next evening yesterday that everybody knew exactly,
Right. Well, no, it was great because
shared.
As it was all happening and we were sharing the stuff on the page, I started making the video. And
we were trying to figure it out.
Right. And then come to find out, like we hear from Gams, who's at the time, he's at the Fash rally in Boston, and we hear from him that he's known Nathan Phillips for a very long time. And if you're not familiar with him, trust me, you will be soon. But he's known him for a while and is, organized with them and stood with them, and they were together at Standing Rock. And
yeah.
And so when Mike and I put together the Mike Gams, not Punker Mike, when we put together the interviews for that video from the clips you just saw a minute ago, it was our intention to talk about Nathan Phillips, but it just took us so long to get that put together, and like we were gonna get back to it today, but he's constantly on the move. So now he's literally in New York City now, having been in Boston yesterday, and so we just didn't get around to it. But again, more things were unfolding, and then like Vic Berger put out a short video that had some cool different angles of what had happened with Covington that I had, the Covington kids that I hadn't seen yet. So that was cool. I was like, this would be perfect. I can add this in, and like, so just.
And then I found that one this morning. Wasn't it this morning? The one that shows everything.
Well, I'm not sure which one specifically you're talking about.
It was Indigenous Peoples Movement. That's who shared it. It's a CNN piece. But they
yeah. Well, that's not in our.
A lot of the video
yeah, but that's not in our video. But anyway, so look, I'll go ahead.
I thought it was.
No, I didn't put the CNN piece in my video.
They used a video that is in ours. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I gotcha. So what I'm going to play here, like I said, this is the opening sequence. It'll get you totally familiar with everything you need to know about the contributing players, as it were. But this is off our video, Covington Catholic School Attack on Indigenous Elder Nathan Phillips, which we just premiered, I don't know, 2 hours ago?
Yeah, not very long ago.
You know, Covington Catholic has something that no one else has. When you come to Covington Catholic High School, you're going to be a well-rounded individual.
January 18, 2019 in D.C., a mob of youth from the Covington Catholic School in Kentucky, after having attended some bullshit pro-life garbage, took it upon themselves to make their way into and totally disrupt the Indigenous Peoples March. This attack culminated in them joyously chanting Cov Cath slogans in open and blatant disrespect of only a handful of African American attendees, whom they outnumbered easily 20 to 1, but Indigenous elders such as Nathan Phillips is seen here. Also, the Vatican was way cozy with both Mussolini and Hitler. Just saying, the Catholic Church has been and still is responsible for or complicit in multiple genocides and atrocities, not least of which its unaddressed and innumerable crimes against children. The Catholic Church and the values it instills in its adherents is and always has been a toxic and destructive manifestation of authoritarian patriarchal control and fear, as made evident by the newest generation of red-hatted MAGA brown shirts of the Covington Catholic High School.
That they have day in and day out that we're producing, I think that separates us from all the other schools.
Singing, and I heard them saying, build that wall, build that wall. You know, this is indigenous land. We're not supposed to have walls here. We never did. For millennia. Before anybody else came here, we never had walls. We never had a prison. We always took care of our elders. We took care of our children. We always provided for them. We taught them right and wrong. I wish I could see that energy of that young mass of young men to put that energy into, making this country really great. Helping those that are hungry.
They're running that club or presidents of their fraternity. They're the leaders.
Academics and sports are important, but at Covington Catholic, they also include humanity.
Turning them into men and preparing them for a very tough and competitive world. I think they're given a very strong foundation and given basic tools that they need going forward to thrive in that kind of an environment.
Kids that go to public schools, they think that the boys that go to Covington Catholic are at a higher standard. They're polite, they're mannerly, they're smart. It sets the bar for how young men should be.
It sets the bar. Here they are. Here they are setting the bar for how men should be. a great
Catholic is the best deal going because not only do boys get a good education
scarves,
but it's a whole experience that I think that they don't get at a public school.
Our school motto is with a spirit that will not die. And sometimes it is just a motto at a lot of places, but here, the spirit that you see at sporting events or at the drama club or when you get into Covington Catholic High School, there's a spirit that stays with you not only throughout your time at school, but throughout the rest of your life.
It says, quote from John Wayne, I don't feel we did wrong in taking this great country away from them. There were great numbers of people who needed new land, and the Indians were selfishly trying to keep it for themselves. Fucking John Wayne. And they got a picture of him with a Covington Catholic hat at the school. In their promotional video, a picture of fucking John Wayne. This is the adult that supervised the students during their attacks and took them pro fucking anti-abortion fuck women march. Someone changed the Google listing for the fascist training camp, Covington Catholic High School, to Covington Catholic White Male Entitlement High School.
Whatever you do when you get into Covington Catholic High School, there's a spirit that stays with you not only throughout your time at school, but throughout the rest of your life.
The goal of Covington Catholic is to develop successful young Christian men. Their track record is pretty remarkable.
I think people are starting to see the importance of this type of education.
When you see our kids and you see our facilities and you see what's happening, I would encourage them just to take a look for themselves. I don't have to speak for Covington Catholic. It speaks for itself.
It speaks for Covington Catholic. It speaks for itself, bro.
Yeah, huh? Right? Oh my God. But like, that's a Catholic Christian, like that's a school that fucking, Christian values. Seriously? Who knows about Catholic schools? We were talking about this earlier, man. You went to a Catholic school.
Bobby knows about Catholic school too.
They're asked if they do that shit.
What those Catholics did to me a year ago was fucking illegal, but there was no way I could prove it and go to the ACLU. So.
What did they do? Is that something you want to talk about?
That's why I'm where I'm at. I was there for 4 years, paying rent and volunteering a little bit, cleaning up the laundry room and stuff, the pool in the summer, and that apparently wasn't enough. Once they got ordained, they started making changes like that. Then, about a year passed, and they didn't give me my electric bill for like 3 months, and I kept asking for it. This is how it started. Then they didn't give me my 30-day notice because they do that every 6 months because it wasn't permanent residence. Okay? And I would have to leave for 2 weeks and then come back. They did that for 4 years. They gave it to me, and I had my shit reserved because I'm responsible and I don't want to lose where I'm living, right? Not easy. You can't get into places in RVs when they're older. This is a 90, and it's too old for most places. So anyway, long story short, they did that. I left, and then I called them. Well, I text them if they'll say my spot like I ever do. It was like I always do, no problem. Well, this got to me. Then I emailed them again. I didn't text them. And then they texted me back and said that I would have to meet with Dan, the owner, and Father Glenn, the Saddleback turned Catholic, married, and got approved by the Pope. I wrote the Pope a letter. Never heard back. Not surprised. Anyway, I'm not kidding. I was pissed. Anyway, so they just never got back to me. They just never fucking answered me. So I was in limbo. I was going from Orange County. There's one place that'll take me there, but it's hard to get into. To Chino, with the other one here, Corona, and the other one was in Hurupa. Going back and forth every 2 weeks, week and a half, week, whatever. And then finally I decided to stay here, and then I made the final decision to move here just a few weeks ago or a month ago. So anyway, that's I don't like organized religion.
Ever.
Seriously, the people in the office told me that Eleanor was when Trump did his church tax thing, whatever the fuck he changed.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, cool, more money for us. They know that everybody there was like, it was retired people that can't afford to live, divorced people that couldn't afford to live, young couples that chose to do it, some of them, which is cool, but then other young couples that are trying to pay off student loan debts and working, they can't afford rent. Anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, so Catholics are fucked.
This was our choice. They didn't even give me the choice. They didn't want me there because they knew I'd tell them to fuck off and I'd sue them. And if I had anything in writing or verbal or emails back, I could use that. So they just fucking ignored me. I have no proof. Because they gave me the 30-day thing and they fudged the fucking date. Anyway, I don't know. Oh, convert or volunteer in the office like 4 to 5 days a week. First of all, most people there have fucking jobs because they have to pay rent there. Hello. My electric bills were like $250 in the summer. I'm not joking. When I lived in an apartment, I was low income, so I qualified, for a cheaper rate. It was fucking bullshit. Here, it's $6.95, the electric's included. I have to put up with a lot of nonsense, but you don't have options, you don't have options. You take what you can get. Well, so I'm grateful, but I hate them.
I do want to say to Jesus Weeds or Weed Jesus, before we get out of here, I do despise all religions, but I do find religious text and religious study fascinating and enriching in my life. But before we end the stream, I do want to play you a clip of one of the members of the church on Wally George. So I'm going to find that clip.
What?
He's a member of the Church of Drugs, and he's on Wally George.
Oh, gosh.
And I think he's actually on Wally George
anyway,
with El Duce.
I didn't mean to take away from Nathan.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But I didn't.
I'm sure.
And there was no way to transition from all that back to Nathan, but I had wanted to address. It's weed, Jesus.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna play that before we get out of here tonight for you.
Jesus totally smoked weed.
Going into the Church of Cannabis.
But so back to the Nathan stuff, and this Catholic school. I mean, like, look, man, that was hundreds. That was like, okay, so if you go into the video, you'll see towards the end that we show that the Covington Catholic High School administration and the diocese issued a fucking statement apologizing and said that there'll be reprisals up to and including expulsion. But it's like, then you're going to need to expel what looks to me like your entire fucking student body. It looks like that
the whole school from the Catholic Church.
There was not one fucking kid there that was not totally all in on that whole fucking attack on the Indigenous Peoples March. After they went to a pro-life march with the fucking priest
that they bring them to the, you know.
They brought them
bring
to that.
To the pro-life
They're
march.
from Kentucky, and they travel to fucking D.C. to go to this fucking, you know.
They go every year, apparently.
To fucking to this march that's all about fucking let's completely control women's bodies for them. Fascist fucking bullshit.
And it was the same day.
Same day. And so they go to that thing and get all riled up and the fucking, you know, with their fucking, you know, their adoration of Trump and whatever, and then wander off and find this march. I doubt these kids knew that that was there, but they just kind of stumbled on it and were like, ha ha, you know, fucking Pocahontas and fucking...
May have been waiting for their transportation. I'm not positive that's the story, but I know last year there is a video of them, but also a photo of them on the stairs, like at the end. So it may be something they do, like they weren't looking for trouble. I don't know. I mean, they were looking for trouble because that's how they act.
They had the one, and in the video I show a picture of the priest that was fucking their adult chaperone, and he's got hashtag March for Life on his fucking tweet and shit, and like, yeah, man. At no point did he step in and go, whoa, whoa, kids, or reach out to the people that they were attacking and try to, you know, like...
Hey, just let me say this.
Uh-huh.
They're not going to suspend or expel anybody. It's a private fucking school, and it's got to be what, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 a year for
fucking
the school
A.
or more.
Right.
Right? They're not going to fucking expel anybody because it's about money.
They probably will expel somebody.
If the church threatened to cast them out of the diocese, they might possibly. But
they're not going to do that. They're making, again, they're making too much money, Shan.
The church money.
Right. And here's the thing is like, this is not a situation where you can find, I mean,
politics.
Unfortunately, that one kid who faced off with Nathan, that's probably who's going to get expelled. If anybody's going to be expelled, it's him. Because in these situations, they're going to try and find the one person they can point to, the scapegoat, to blame it all on. When you look through the video, there's so much footage in different angles. They completely surround Nathan in circles. In the video that really went viral...
It was a mob scene. It's mob mentality.
In the video that most people saw that went... In the video...
Cabanos type toxic masculinity.
Shan, I adore you, Shan. Shan, I adore you. And, you know, Mike is ADHD and shit. But, like, you got to let me finish. And I'll give you so much time to say anything you want to say, but you keep cutting me off. And it's like, and then it looks like I'm mad at you.
It keeps cutting out. It's been doing it the whole entire time. I'm trying my best.
Word. And I hate, I'm sorry, I hate to do that. And it just makes it look like I'm correcting you, and I don't want to do that, or like I'm trying to talk over you. But like, that they completely circled him at one point. And in the video that really went viral that most people see, you really kind of see Nathan faced off with this fucking kid and some people behind him. And in the other footage that I put in this main video, you see as it pans around and circles around him, it's just completely encircled. They're all jumping and cheering and doing tomahawk shit at him, and like, while the one kid faces off against him. And so, again, the point is, they're going to ruin this one kid's fucking life. Probably. At best. As though that's a best case scenario. But like, it's an indictment of Catholicism. It's an indictment of all of the Catholic Church's long-standing history of connection to far-right, fascist, authoritarian fucking regimes, dating back to Hitler and Mussolini. And they were awash in Trump gear. They were all wearing, and it was like really nice knitted, like, I've been to a bunch of fascist rallies, and they got a janky ass they got their brand new little hat, and then their janky ass fucking gear they made at home, and all their little shields and their chest gear and whatever. But those kids, those were like knitted sweaters that said "Make America Great," and knitted hats, and like expensive, like all the most expensive, best MAGA gear, and they were all wearing it. Like Joey Shithead said, man, Nazi training camp. It's a Nazi training camp. Go ahead, Mike. Sorry.
Who's going to do this investigation?
Right. Covington Catholic High School.
Church?
Right. The Diocese of fucking Covington,
Okay,
Kentucky.
right.
Right. Right.
So yeah, they'll scapegoat one kid.
The same people that completely put a stop to all the child molested. Oh, that's right. That's still happening, and nothing's really been done about it at all. So yeah, but that's the same mechanisms that are going to investigate this. Fuck, man. Disgusting. You know, you did such a fantastic job, Shan. I got to give you credit of finding an aggregate of all the different responses from all the various different indigenous communities and like Standing Rock Sioux Tribe and so many different groups and sharing it to the page. And it was, the response and defense and like solidarity with him was so wonderful, you know?
Everybody up. Everybody shared the information. It's like, no, that's not right. That it was a long, like, figuring it out day, but it was awesome because that's what I'm saying. It wasn't just, it was on our page. That was wonderful. But I mean, it was just all like one of my friends, he posted a video and I'm like, awesome. And that's the video that Refused Fascism gets credit for.
Gotcha.
In the clip. And so it just was, and that was a beautiful ending to a fucked up day.
Isn't it? And the way it's not just the demands themselves that speak to the long history of Catholic oppression of the indigenous people, but it's just the manner in which he delivers it. It's the manner in which Nathan delivers every, you know, Mike Gams shared older video clips and stuff of Nathan Phillips to our page that just what an incredibly sincere, decent, even-tempered, calm, loving, I don't know, spirit he is. It's just to have that kid.
But he admitted he was scared.
Of course he was scared.
What he did is he put himself in between a volatile situation. That's being brave. When you're brave, it doesn't mean you're not scared. You fucking do it anyway because maybe you can make a difference. He did make a difference. They didn't go after each other. There wasn't a fist fight. That didn't happen.
And it's
people critiquing what he did. Why would he do that? He was asking for it. He wasn't asking for it, but he inserted himself into something, hoping his prayers would be answered. And basically they were. And he's been lifted up because of it. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Well, sure. He walks in to these people berating a handful of others, a mass mob of kids. And it's, what do you do because they're kids? Like, if that was a mass mob of adults, it would have been a very different scenario, I think. But he just walks in and plays his drum and sings his song, and that's it. And it's such a pivot. It's such a emblematic moment of what we're going through in this world right now. The things that we're really addressing, and how to do it right and how not to do it right. And Nathan Phillips is 150 billion% the example of how to exactly do it right. But of course, I couldn't bring myself to read it, Shan, but you shared an article in our chat. It had something to do about one of the mothers of one of the kids trying to claim that her little angel.
The Black Muslim group or whatever. I don't know much.
Of the other African American.
She blamed them acting that way. Is that the article?
Yeah. Because it couldn't be her darling little angel. Because he's a good Catholic. MAGA. And he wants to make America great. Couldn't be her kid. It has to be the other people who are this extremist thing that they're being, extremists while black. So obviously it's their fault. that my
Right.
child and all his friends attacked them. And you look in our video.
I'm not saying I agree with what they were saying.
Oh, of course,
at all.
of course I know that.
However, you know, I mean, there were 4 men standing there,
Right.
as opposed to, you know, they're not 10-year-olds.
Right.
They're 16 to 8-year-olds probably. So yes, they're underage, they're teenagers, and teenagers can be assholes, especially in groups. But this was beyond asshole. I mean, how many of them were wearing MAGA hats?
All of them. Like all of them.
That tells you right there.
I have never seen that many MAGA hats in one place, and I've been at some big fucking gatherings of Fash, man. I mean, that was different. That's different than a Patriot Prayer or American Guard or Proud
It's a
Boys.
whole different mentality. It's privileged, toxic whiteness.
Groupthink, total groupthink, cult, total cultish. I mean, it was like obviously
It is.
Every kid that attends there. It's like, you know, think about when, you know, shit. I have to use an outdated reference because I don't know what's the fucking cool shit that kids wear right now. But like in my day, like you had to have a pair of Vans, right? You had to have your pair of Vans, or you had to pair your OP shorts or some shit, right? Because not because to be cool necessarily, but just not to take shit and not to be seen as being out and get teased and whatever. Like for these kids, every one of them, it's like, it's not just a Catholic school uniform. Their uniform is MAGA shit. They all have it. And it's like, Mom, I got to get the newest thing. And fucking, and their parents are obviously 100% on board and just think this is wonderful for their children. Because, go ahead, Mike. Mike, go ahead.
I was just going to say, somebody had to teach them to hate.
Yeah.
Somebody had to teach them hate. You're not born with hate. You're taught hate. So obviously their parents are down for all this. They're the ones that knitted them the MAGA beanies and the MAGA sweaters with their Catholic school emblem on the front. Because, you know, Trump has said...
They had the nanny order it.
Hey, Mike.
Sorry.
Michael, would you point your mic towards you, the tip of it towards you? It just sounds kind of muffly. It's not real clear.
Interesting.
Yes.
No. Towards me, right there.
No. You're speaking into the side of it, homie. The front of the mic, like this. This is how you need to talk into it, bro.
Oh, yeah. Hang on.
It just sounds a little muffly. I think it'll be clearer if you try. Maybe it won't. Maybe I'm wrong, but let's try it. And I'm going to try and find this, the Church of Drugs guy on Wally George.
So what, when we were talking about Wally George, you started watching videos of
Oh,
him?
God, I went way down the rabbit hole. It was such a trip. Because me and Mike used to watch him all the time.
No.
And,
I had friends that went.
Mike, did you ever go? Did you or Margaret ever go to Wally George? I know you're fixing your thing. I'm thinking at least like Uncle Ronnie and fucking Uncle Moylan must have gone at some point, right?
No, he was a fucking dude. No, I'm wasting my time going down there. He was a fucking dude.
Well, it's just such a trip. In watching it now, I realize, because look, dude, I was a teenager. I must have been fucking 13, 14, 15 when we were watching that with video, because it was right after Video 1 or right before Video 1 and Request Video, right? On KDOC, they were back to back, so we would catch it.
I was probably 24, 25 at the time.
So, but
I was watching it at 16, 17.
But I was younger, and I
was watching it at the beginning.
I didn't understand. I couldn't make heads or tails of whether he was serious or not. It's so cartoonish. It seems so fake. So now looking at it, though, hold on one sec, bro. Now looking at it, I realize that, yeah, he's a fucking piece of shit. And like, But he's the precursor to, like, not only is he the precursor to things like Jerry Springer and fucking, you know, and Morton Downey Jr. Morton Downey Jr. totally ripped his shtick off of Wally George, and like, and yes, and Maury Povich, and then now, but he's total go America, love America.
But Morton Downey was around with Wally.
Yeah, he got to start going on Wally George's show and shit. So this guy, he really is, you're going to see, it's such a trip. The way he is, he wasn't racist. Here's the thing. Here's one thing I will give to Wally.
Nice at all.
Here's one thing I will give to Wally is he wasn't a racist. He was actually really, really openly against racism. But
no, but he promoted.
He's a disgusting fucking
racism.
scum. He sure did.
Like especially.
But
Crocs.
he sure did. He sure did. And so like, but I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure this is the clip.
The show, man. One of the scummiest, raunchiest.
I'm pretty sure this is the clip that has the guy with the church of drugs. No, it's not. Hold on. Give me a second. Go ahead, Mike. I cut you off.
I was just saying, man, if you look at the people in his audience, like 99% of them knew that he was a fucking kook. And they went there to watch the train wreck. And to just laugh at him and make fun of him because he was such a fucking kook. Nobody in that audience, I swear to God, nobody, maybe one person took him serious. We laughed at him. He was so over the fucking top.
To see the girls in bathing suits.
But he was also the first guy. Look, I don't want to like mischaracterize what I think of him. I sound like I'm heaping praise on him because he's this innovator, groundbreaker guy. But like, it's just that's in terms of the toxic, disgusting right-wing fucking like YouTubeosphere and the Shapiros and the really someone like Steven Crowder is the fucking like. And, you know, the fucking descendant of Wally George. He's the legacy of Wally George, someone like him, you know? And, like, but he was the first to really incorporate the crowd, which is why people all over Southern California would go there because it's so, like you said, so rowdy and raunchy and all this shit. And, like, but now this is, I'm not going to play the whole clip. It's fucking like 10 minutes, but this is with El Duce from the Mentors and Bud Green from the Church of Drugs. This goes out to Weed Jesus, which is why I wanted to play it. Because some of Weed Jesus' propaganda in our chat sounds similar to Bud Green from the Church of Drugs.
Quiet down, guys. On Saturday night, 11 until 12 midnight, it's Hot Seat, and of course at various times on the network and all around the world on the international satellite. All right, now we're going to bring on two real morons. They are here to promote more looting and rioting. They want to burn down America. This is the Reverend Bud Green and El Duce. Bring them out here. Hold on. Hold down. Quiet in the audience. Quiet in the audience. Quiet in the audience now. Hold down, guys. Now, Reverend Bud Green of the Religion of Drugs.
The Religion of Drugs.
And this idiotic hooded monster El Duce right here.
El Inholic.
If you could see his ugly face, you'd know why he put a hood over it.
That's kind of true.
If we showed his real face on television, I would be fined by decency.
How about your bald spot?
How about your bald spot?
Now, wait a minute. Hey, Bud, I see that you walked out on stage holding a joint in your hand.
He's growing up in the world.
May I say, hey.
Just say no.
May I say, Brian, hold it. You are now under citizen's arrest. What do you think?
Hey, Wally, that wasn't the joint I was holding. That was the sacrament of the Lord.
There you go, wee Jesus. Nice for you.
This moron makes Charles Manson look like a saint. You know what, Reverend Bud Green? I've said a lot of things about you over the past years. I'm surprised that this idiot is still walking the streets. I thought years ago he'd be locked up in the same cell with Manson.
Wally.
What the fuck? Lock him up.
Wally. Okay, how about Wally? I've done better than hook up with Charles Manson. I've hooked up with El Duce.
All right, hold on. Never mind that stupid stuff.
Hey, tell them what we did at the liquor store with Towelhead.
Wait a minute. Now, hold down the audience. Now, the reason you guys are here, I'm not going to talk about your stupid religion and drugs right now. You are here. I am so incensed. I saw you on a national television show, and you are saying, believe it or not, these guys are promoting more looting and riots in America. Are you trying to hold it down the audience? Hey, unless we keep it, hold it down the audience. I'm gonna have to clear out the audience. We gotta keep it down here. Okay. Now let me sit. Hey, and you just shut up, Duce. Hey, just loot in the rock shop. Hey, Duce, just pretend like you're back at your pigsty having a good time, okay? Now let me ask you this. Now, Bud, are you trying to tell me that you want to promote more rioting and looting in America?
We do, Wally, because it wasn't a riot, it was a rebellion by the poor people against rich pigs like you.
What do you mean it wasn't a riot? Do you mean to say that you condone what happened, the burning down of homes and buildings and stores, the looting, and how about the people who were killed? Who cares? Wait. Let me get this so you people at home can know the scum these people are. When I said, in case you missed that, when I said, what about all the people who were killed, this scumbag Duce said, who cares? No, wait. I care, and this guy is out of here. Now, this idiot is not going to sit on my show and say, who cares, when I'm about the hundreds of people, innocent victims who were killed. I'll tell you who cares. All of us care, right? I say, hey, what I say, Bud Green, is who the hell cares about you and your scummy people?
I'll tell you. That's right. The real people care, Wally. The skit. I'll tell you who cares, Wally.
Hey, that was a good line out there. Hugs, not drugs. Yeah.
This is all during Nancy Reagan's Just Say No campaign and shit. Like the thick of it, you know?
Let him talk.
I got a better one, Wally.
Hold down, guys. Let him talk. Go ahead.
I got a better one. Bongs, not bombs.
Now let me ask something. Hold on. Do you really approve of the kind of abominable things that happen, the looting of stores? Why do you say looting is good in America?
I tell you why looting's good. It's the poor people taking what the rich people have stolen from them back. Oh, no.
Fucking A.
We created an organization. We created an organization called Looters to defend the looters. It stands for left-wingers overthrowing our totalitarian economic redistribution system. Looters.
Now, what you're saying is that all the looting that went on, you approved of in downtown Los Angeles.
Definitely.
Let me ask you a question, bud. Did you or any of your friends take part in the rioting and looting in Los Angeles?
I'll take the Fifth Amendment on that one.
Tell me the truth. Did you do any looting in downtown Los Angeles? Did you? And remember, the LAPD is watching right now. Did you take part? Did you take part in any of the looting?
Well, I did take some rolling papers.
What about Bud? What about Reginald Denny, who was almost beaten to death?
That was disgusting.
Do you approve of that?
Well, I tell you what, I don't approve of them grabbing an innocent motorist. What they should have done is pulled a cop out of a car and beat him.
Hold it. You know what I wish? I wish someone would pull him out of the car and beat him up. I'll be right back.
There you go. That's fucking the Reverend Bud Green from the Church of Drugs.
Yeah, and I just...
They could pull the cops out of the car. The cops bailed, remember?
I'm sorry, you're both talking at once. Go ahead, Shan.
I'm sorry, I can't hear Mike at all then, I guess.
Yeah, and your mic still sounds like shit. You got to get it closer to your face, homie.
Well, no, I didn't hear him at all. So.
I know.
Anyway.
Yeah, it sounded really bad on my end too, bro. But.
No, just the cops pulled out that evening in South Central. It wasn't downtown LA. But, I mean, it got larger.
What were you going to say, Mike?
I don't remember.
Oh.
It sounds much clearer, though. Honestly.
Whatever.
No, it does. It sounds much better.
Now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm giving a hand. I feel like Luke from Terrier.
Well, I know Mike hates that it's like in his face and stuff, but what sucks is that's how it works. That's how it works, bro.
That's how it hurts?
No, that works. I know you hate it. I know you hate having that thing there. And when we eventually get the proper camera where we're casting video to the camera like we want to do and stuff, I will be using this again. I'll have to. And I'll have to have it all in my face. Right now, I have the freedom to be all dirt because the camera picks me up fine, right? But, yeah, I'll have to be all getting all Lux Interior, carried up.
No, fancy ones I could just clip on my fucking t-shirt.
Come on, little mother. Damn place up.
I always wondered why he never electrocuted himself.
I know, right?
I always did. I don't think I've ever.
I think it has something to do with the red wine, Shan. It's like a.
Oh my God, I was going to say the same thing.
So, hey, you know what? This has been really fun. I think we should probably play a little Cramps to go out with. But I really love you guys.
Next time, I promise I'll have a scene report.
Well, we need to talk about doing, like, we're just getting all this together. I do want to do scene reports on Sunday, but, like, plus I was really busy working on the
other videos.
The Mike Gams Boston video and the Nathan Phillips videos and stuff. So, like, I didn't really prep a show for today. So, and then Shan didn't even know we were doing it until, like, 20 minutes or so. Yeah. And Shan, I'm sorry to yell at you about the talking over each other stuff. I love you so much,
it's
big
okay.
sis.
I'm getting a better signal now. I don't know why. The last time we did it with all freaking 6 of us on there, it was perfect. And now it's like only 3 of us, and
we get a request for
forces me with the problem.
Well, because you ain't no punk, you punk.
I'm a schlep rock. Whatever.
I think. Listen, I ain't trying to diss on our followers, but and I adore Garbage Man, but that's kind of scratching surface level Cramps. I think. I mean, when we got 2 of 3 people on the stream with fucking Cramps tattoos, I think we can get a little deeper. But what I'm gonna write in right now is just the Cramps and see kind of what comes up, because I want to play a cool fucking video too. And is there a video for Garbage Man?
Sorry.
Is there a video for Garbage Man? I'm still open to playing Garbage Man. But
I don't know if there is a video for Garbage Man. Now that I think about it.
Well,
there's good videos off of Stay Sick.
I mean, I see there's Erg Tear It Up.
We could go even deeper, bro. Smell if you smell.
Goo Goo Muck.
Ooh, that human fly video that just got fucking discovered recently. You guys have seen that, right?
Yes.
With all the old, it's all dark and grainy. It looks like a really bad B-movie black and white horror film, but it's the Cramps. Okay, here's a video for Garbage Man 2. Fever. Ooh, you got good taste. God, I was gonna say that. You got good taste.
I vote for taste.
Ooh, no. I'm gonna have to make executive producer.
That.
I think Naked Girl Falling Down the Stairs.
I thought nobody freaking ruled here, right, Mike?
It does. Nobody does, but I have access to the computer. But okay,
he's the one doing
your auntie gave me that thought, bro.
Dude, it's a full video and it's Naked Girl Falling Down the Stairs.
Okay, Naked Girl Falling Down the Stairs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shannon, are you cool with that?
Yes, it sounds like you're drunk. My phone's messing up.
So we're gonna go out on this. I fucking love you guys so much.
I love you too, and I just thought
for joining us,
girls with machine guns.
Much love to Mr. Black, Bobby O,
Patriot.
Yeah, everybody in the chat. Just thanks so much for fucking hanging with us, and
thanks everyone.
And I want to thank Bobby O and Mike and stuff from people for checking in with the chat. Like, I'm doing so much, I don't get a chance to really look at the chat. Usually I end up watching the stream later and seeing all the cool shit you guys were talking about, but I can't really focus on it. So, like, just really thanks everybody for hanging out and shooting the shit in there.
Hey Rev.
Yeah.
Are we going to do a show tomorrow, bro?
We are. We are definitely going to do a Monday What the Fuck tomorrow. We'll see. You know, I mean, Sunday will always be kind of more casual and kick back like this. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday, which we will ultimately go 5 days a week. But for now, it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We'll really buckle down, and it's a really more streamlined show. It's really about the issues the pertinent issues of the day. And so, yes, we will be here 7 to 9 Pacific time tomorrow night. In the meantime, you can sub shit. Please very much hit the like button. Hey, we got at least 2 fascists that were here at some point because we got 2 thumbs down. I mean, there might be leftists that don't like us. I'm okay with that being a possible reality. Actually, probably yeah. But usually when we get a thumbs down, it's because it's a fascist. It just makes me happy.
We get more love than hate now, though, so it's awesome. We love you guys.
What, Mike?
I had to do the other thumbs up so we could leave it.
So please do hit the thumbs up. It helps. It does help. You know, it makes our videos look like it's not shit if it's got a good thumbs up ratio. So that does help. I know that sucks. That's the way our culture works. But please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't. Much love to all the comrades out there. Fuck
we'll
capitalism.
See you guys tomorrow, yeah?
Oh yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Fuck capitalism. And what's up to all righteous red and black anarchists and socialists? Solidarity. This is the Cramps with a very, very silly song called Naked Woman Falling Down the Stairs. Much love, guys. Fuck capitalism. See you tomorrow night.